Seven Holy Kumaras, Lords of the Flame from Venus. Excerpts of the Masters and their Retreats. Seven Holy Kumaras, Lords of the Flame of Venus. Profiles of the Ascended Masters. The seven Holy Kumaras are the seven great brings who hold the focus of the seven Elohim on the planet Venus. Sanakumara is one of the seven Holy Kumaras. His position among the seven is on the third ray, and he brings the gift of love and the gift of the threefold flame. Venus is the planet of the third ray of this solar system, and it is known to be the training ground for avatars who have been sent not only to Earth, but to the other planetary bodies infiltrated by the Luciferians. This is the home of Jesus Christ, Gautama Buddha, Lord Maitreya, John the Baptist, Enoch, and the entire hierarchy of the Brahmins, Hinduism, Lemurian, and pre-Lemurian avatars. All of these have come through the great mystery schools of Venus, and the halls and temples of the seven Holy Kumaras. Each of the seven Holy Kumaras has his individual temple on Venus, and each one of these temples is dedicated to the initiations of the Mother Flame on one of the seven rays. The initiations of the Mother Flame are always the making practical and matter of the initiations of the Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Had the seven Holy Kumaras not retained their God consciousness and their absolute purity, had they not retained Venus as a force field of love, had this force field not been held as the literal heart chakra of the solar system, the remainder of the evolutions of the planets would not have had the opportunity to be redeemed, and Sanat Kumara would not have been given the grant to come to the planet Earth. The seven Holy Kumaras have released a number of specific dispensations for the raising up of the light in the earth. In 1975, they came to release to the light bearers of the world an increment of light that is the seed of Alpha, of cosmic illumination, to raise the fires of awareness and to increase the penetration of the Infinite One. This was the increment of light that is delivered only once in 10,000 years for the evolution of consciousness and the centering of that consciousness in the crown. In 1976, the seven Holy Kumaras spoke in Hawaii of the raising of the Mother Flame of Lemuria. This flame was upon the central altar and around it, on what is known as the fire ring of the land that bordered the Pacific Ocean today, were 12 temples all dedicated to the Mother Light. The 12 temples were for the solar initiation of the 12 hierarchs. Each had its own tone and flame. Sanakumara said, "We come then for one purpose, and that purpose is to anchor certain Fohatic keys in the form of electrodes for the spiraling, rising energies of the seven rays and the seven aspects of the Mother Flame. The raising of these energies is from the point where they descended on Terra. The point of descent of Lemuria and the Mother Light must also be the point of the rise of that Mother Light." Sanat Kumara and the seven Holy Kumaras spoke in 1992 at Atlanta, Georgia, of the great love and concern of the evolutions of Venus for mankind. "Blessed hearts, I want you to know that the evolutions of my house star, Venus, who inhabit a plane that is not physical according to the physical nature of Earth, are one and all in rapt attention as I address you with the seven Holy Kumaras. And there are giant screens throughout the planet upon which all can see the messengers and see your faces and see your auras. And they send love, waves of billowing love, in support of your sacred hearts. in support of the increase of the holy love in your hearts, beloved and entire planet of life waves watching now, what shall become of the earth, and what shall become of their brothers and sisters and twin flames and souls so close to their hearts, those gathered here and those gathered in the cities, and those not yet in this community of the Holy Spirit, but moving toward the hearts of the Buddha and the Christ and of Sanat-Kumara. Yes, beloved, feel this love, for this love is something truly beyond this world, which all who are one with you in this cause and purpose are determined to manifest here by sending their love, and also by journeying in the etheric octave to take their stand at your side. Blessed hearts, there is a response to your striving and your giving of yourselves. There is a response from other systems. There is a response from the violet planet. There is a response from the planets beyond this solar system, and then those that are light years beyond even this galaxy. There is a hush in the entire matter cosmos as the decisions of individuals are making the difference as to whether or not the entire tide of darkness will be turned around in planet Earth. For this cause have we come. Therefore, together in the living flame, we multiply all that you are by the power of the love of the Lady Master Venus.
Greetings from Costa Rica. Wow, it's a fun day today. I had to move my typical location because we've got some grinding outside. We got the machines going, cutting grass. But welcome to another day in galactic histories and mysteries. Coming at you from Costa Rica, the galactic 0 point. Covering one of my favorite gene keys today. It's gene key 29, Leap into the Void, the Abyss. It's the water over water code. And it's the path of devotion. And it's been a path that I've been initiated into. And so it's my honor to share about it today. I have a rose incense right now that's like unrolling like a scroll. It's perfect. Yeah, let's check it out. Here's the 29. So the shadow of gene key 29 is half-heartedness. The gift is commitment. And the Siddhi is devotion. And you could look at these like dimensions, right? The shadow is like the third dimension of fear and survival that we're all born into and mostly living in based on the dominant reality. And then the gift frequency of commitment is like, it's when you've opened your heart and you're starting to move forward into the heart causal plane. And then devotion, this is the path of the Siddhi, which is really truly about heart wide open, pure embodiment. And so here it says, this is from the Living Library, which is one of my favorite resources for the gene keys. And if you don't know about the gene keys, you can pull your free profile on genekeys.com. And you can reach out to me anytime. It's my honor to unlock your codes in this way. This gene key has a certain genius, and it's a funny kind of genius. It's about making luck. It's true, when we aren't drawn into emotional or desired decisions, then we create the conditions for good fortune. Wow, interesting. I don't remember him ever quoting this as the 29. We aren't drawn into emotional or desired decisions. We create the conditions for good fortune. Wow, so this makes me, okay, so the 29 and the 46, which is ecstasy. That one's actually called the science of luck. And so the pathway of devotion and ecstasy is kind of a nice little favorite combo that I work with my partner Eduardo and I, and he's probably going to come on in a little bit. Both carry the 29 and the 46, which make a channel in human design. The programming partner of the 29 is the 30, which is the rapture, which we call celestial fire, burn all desire. And so in biblical or Christian terminology, there's these ideas of what rapture is. For me, and what's written in the gene keys with gene key 30, which is the code that unlocks the 29, it's about the purification of the lower astral body. And it's through that path of initiation that is the burning through of your desires that you are born anew into the Buddhic leap. Ultimately, that's what the gene keys is all about. As you saw that introduction talking about the Kumaras, in my path of initiation, just coming out of the cave, the gene keys can be used, of course, as like an individual awakening tool, but it's really sacred text in plain sight, available for those with eyes to see as we unroll the scrolls of the higher purpose of our DNA and recognize the prophetic nature of why we are here at this very moment in time. The Kumaras, Venus, love, talking about in the intro video, you know, the dark forces. I'd never heard of Lady Venus and Sanat Kumara until I moved here to Costa Rica. And I remember one day I was studying them and I felt such a resonance with like their pictures and the essence of the idea. And I could like feel the archetypal energy within myself. And as I started to discover, there was like this story, there's this idea, I could be getting it a little bit off, a little bit wrong, I don't know. But the whole idea was that basically planet Earth was in the throes of the darkness, you might say. And that Lady Venus and Sanat Kumara had agreed to come down from their planet Venus to hold the field of love in the midst of darkness, to stabilize the planet with love, to save the planet with love. And then there's another piece of the story about the 144,000 initiates, which I would call Mary's Army of Light. This is where I start to intertwine the stories of all of the sacred lovers, Lady Venus, Sanat Kumara, the Christos and the Sophia, the mother and the father of the cosmos, whatever name you want to call it, the idea of holy love returning to the earth. That's where we're at right now, as our planet is on fire. And I hardly tune into the news, but in the small amounts that I can take and just the connections that I have with Soul Family, I see the ruins of our pure holy planet. And I understand very well what our role and our mission is here. And it's not a time of just shrugging our shoulders and waiting to see what happens. It's a time of those that can remember to come hard, to come full, to come correct, and to hold the frequency field of love in the midst of a final attempt. And notice I said attempt of a planetary takeover. According to my memory, this planet has been destroyed before, and that's why we've come in this very moment in time to ensure that that never happens again. And we do this with pure love, because we are the commanders of light. And some shit got out of hand on planet Earth. And that's why we're here right now. Building Shambhala. Let me read this right here. Building Shambhala. I always say Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. That's when Sanat Kumara came from Venus to make the earth his temporary home. He was accompanied by a retinue of many great beings of light, including his daughter, the Lady Master Meta, and 3 of the 7 holy Kumaras. The 400 who formed the avant-garde were sent ahead to Earth to build the magnificent retreat of Shambhala on an island in the Gobi Sea, where the Gobi Desert now is. Alchemists and scientists, getting a little refill of cacao and honey from my love.
Very strong.
Very strong.
Get this one.
Oh, it's fine. I don't need it.
You don't need sure.
If you want, you can.
Money is everything.
Getting some honey from a honey. Always using honey. Yes, we love honey. Honey is medicine from the sacred bees. Okay, so where are we here? Gobi Desert. Alchemists and scientists have also at that time 144 of these, focusing the 144 flames of the elements. Together they composed a replica of the diamond that is in the great hub, a focus of the diamond shining mind of God. You could say this is also like a core fractal or a monad as well. There's lots of different words, lots of different stories, lots of different dimensions and flavors of this mention of this mission, because it comes through many languages, it comes through many cultures. Kumara resided, let's see, where did I go? Okay, on the White Island in the Gobi Sea, they built the city of White, patterned after the city of the Kumaras on Venus. Sanat Kumara established the focus of the threefold flame in the retreat at Shambhala, which remained in the physical for many centuries. Sanat Kumara resided in this physical retreat, but he did not take on a physical body such as the bodies we wear today. It was in the matter universe, yet highly etheric. See, some of us are already operating in this way. We have a physical body, but we are operating more from the etheric field. We're sitting in the stillness. We're sitting in the eye of the storm. We're sitting in the 0 point in the center. We're not really needing to be seen necessarily. We're just holding a field of electromagnetic universal energy on the planet without a name or a character tied to it necessarily, but it's time for us to come out into the light. Later, it became expedient for its protection that Shambhala, this wondrous retreat that was in the physical octave, be withdrawn to the etheric octave. The etheric focus remains as an exact replica of what was once the physical retreat. The beautiful azure sea with the white island in the center is now the Gobi Desert. It makes me think of the Azurites as well. The CDT plates has been on my mind a lot in these weeks, and I've talked about it on previous calls, the idea of these CDT plates. And they claim that these holographic discs were physical, but I believe that they're accessible. They are etheric plates, and they're accessible through, is it someone else's birthday? With the beehive. Okay, I'm just reading about Sanat Kumara's mission on Earth, which is our mission. Anyone that's up in here, you're either on the mission or I'm not sure why you're here. Better remember, because we're the core 144. We don't come into commission by accident. We're here to create something beautiful. We're here to remember something beautiful. I am kin number 144. Yellow magnetic seed. I carry those codes and memories, and I'm here to unite the tribe in order to target this mission. We're here to activate this mission. Eduardo just brought me this little balloon with the beehive over here, which makes me think of Gene Key 44. It says Feliz Cumpleaños. So it's our birthday today. It's our birthday as a family. And someone's playing a harmonica outside. Okay, so let's see. Sanat Kumara anchored the light. Without the assistance of mankind. Okay, Sanat Kumara anchored a ray of light from his heart as a thread of contact with each one evolving on the planet Earth, nourishing and sustaining that flame and assisting the Holy Christ self to quicken the Christ consciousness. That's us. That's what we're here to do. The Holy Christ self quickening the Christ consciousness. There are many of us. It's not one dude with bloody hands and, crucifixion. That is us. We are the light beings. We are the light bodies. We are the Kumaras. We are the Christos family. Without that assistance, mankind in mass would have gone through the second death and the planet would have been destroyed. Now, I believe that this has already happened before. We're repeating histories over and over again, replaying these cycles of planetary destruction because people have gotten having too much fun with their little missile laser beam AI games. And so again, that's why we've come, because we're not letting it happen again. This is the final countdown. And in that song, by the way, the final countdown, not sure if you ever noticed, but it says we're going to Venus, but we're not leaving this planet. And that's the important part. We're the resurrection. We're the way. We're the truth. We're the light. We're here to stay right here, right now. And we have no attachments, but we understand very well this is like the final standoff. The ancient custom of the Yule log has come down to us from the service rendered by Sanat Kumara, who each year consecrated a focus of the sacred fire in the physical octaves. It became tradition for the people to come across many miles to take home a piece of the Yule log and to use it to light their fires through the coming 12-month cycle. Thus, a focus of his physical flame was tangibly manifest in the dwelling places of the people of the earth, enabling them to have actual physical contact with a focus of the Lord of the world in their midst. Sanat Kumara's mission was completed on January 1st, 1956, when his most capable disciple, Gautama Buddha, was awarded the position of the Lord of the world, having enough momentum to hold the balance for the planet and the focus of the threefold flame. Sanat Kumara then became regent of the world, and in that capacity, he continues to assist Earth's evolution from his home on Venus. Until this change in office, Sanat Kumara released tremendous light to the planet each year at the Wesak festival during the full moon in Taurus. His radiation was anchored through his disciples, Lord Gautama Buddha, Lord Maitreya, and the one who currently holds the office of the Maha Chohan. These three anchored the focus of the threefold flame from the heart of Sanat Kumara on behalf of the Lord of the world. They were the step-down transformers for his intense radiation. Sanat Kumara also figures in several roles in the religious traditions of the East. Each one reveals another facet of his divine self. He is revered in Hinduism as one of the 4 of 7 sons of Brahma. They were portrayed as youths who have remained pure. The Sanskrit name Sanat Kumara means always a youth. He is the most prominent of the Kumaras. Now, this is always the interesting part for me and something that I've come to bring from the feminine perspective. It's always about the he's. And I really want to bring in the balance of the feminine mother here, because that's always the missing part. Even when they say Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, what about mother, daughter? What about mother, father, child, right? But also the daughter. It's like, that's been one of the missing pieces that we've come to correct, because I want to say that there's truth and distortion in every one of the historical stories. I am not here to say to believe any one thing, any one biblical, any one teaching, any one master, anything like that. In fact, right here, right now is what we are doing. It's called the Avatar of Synthesis. And it is the family of Maitreya, or the Kalki Avatar, whatever you want to name it. The whole point is that it's 144,000 beings holding a frequency field like one being, because the power of the force that is necessary for this mission is so grand and so strong that our body could not hold, the one body could not hold this mission. It is the family of many holding this mission. And that takes away the personal importance, as Richard Rudd would refer to it in Gene Key 7, as the genetic material. And that's what it is. We are the genetic material that's come to hold this frequency field on the planet. What's up, Danica? It's good to see you, my Venus sister. Aww, I'm so happy you're here. Oh, and check it out. I got this Virgo angel on this coffee cup. And the other day was the Assumption of Mary, or the Annunciation. So we're bringing in those mother vibes, always. And I want to tell you this other interesting story. I had just learned about Andara crystals. Like, this was probably like 6.5 years ago, okay? And I remember my friend was going to Hawaii. She was going to go to this woman named Lisa Brown, who's like, I don't even know if she exists on the planet anymore. She was definitely a being kind of turning to light, holding it down in Hawaii. Like, there's some great mothers that have been holding these frequency fields all around the planet on certain grids. And I have such a deep honor and reverence for all of you. There are many that aren't online and you wouldn't know their names. I understand very clear that there are many who have laid down their lives to just be frequency holders on this planet at this moment in time. And so anyways, Lisa Brown. So my friend Zoe was going to see Lisa Brown in Hawaii, and Eduardo's joining me. I'm just gonna scoot over a little bit. And yeah, she ended up bringing me back. I told her, I was like, hey, if you see any Andaras over there, you know, bring some back for me, kind of thing. And but the next thing you know, I'm at my house. I'm in Costa Rica at the time. I'm already with Eduardo, so I haven't shared the love story yet, but we'll get there. And how it's all connected to Gene Key 29, which is the code that we're covering today. Hi, baby. Here I am. I'm drawing, you know, I've got a piece of paper and I'm drawing these beautiful colors and spirals, and I wrote Sanat Kumara. And the next thing you know, in the midst of me writing Sanat Kumara, Eduardo comes in and he goes, baby, look at this crystal that I found. And it's this crystal right here, which I share quite often. You can even see it in the colors, like even behind these like Sanat Kumara Venus videos, you can see these colors. Get a room, me too. That's funny. We are holding that fucking holy love. I am not kidding about it. I know there's a lot of like labels and titles about twin flames and divine unions and all of the things. I've seen it all. I've seen people trying to fit their foot in a shoe that doesn't fit. But I want to say we come from the purest, holiest love of devotion. I can still be a bitch sometimes. I'm not going to lie about it. I got to be totally honest and transparent. I've got a power and a force that if I don't channel it into creativity, you know, I have my sides sometime. But talk about a man of pure holy service, of the pure divine father energy, of wanting to serve everyone, and also a guardian and a protector. My Leo love, his birthday's on the 21st. It's coming up. Yeah. Really divine love. Okay, so here's what's up with this crystal, okay? Eduardo brings this crystal to me while I'm writing Sanat Kumara's name. And the next thing you know, like I'm recording a picture or a video of this crystal. I wish I had it still, this video. It's on my old account. And so anyways, That's when I looked up, Eduardo thought that this was an aquamarine crystal. And I was like, no, this is an Andara. And he was like, what is an Andara? And I was like, they're fifth dimensional crystals that were planted here on the earth. This is the exact, Danica says, this is the exact color that streams through my entire body when I connect with Aphrodite. Ooh. You know what? To me, it's like the aqua ray 13-dimensional mother arc. It's also, there's something very particular about this. It's almost like frozen light, frozen water. There's like bubble energy inside of here. And it's an intelligence, okay? This white material on it, if you can see, it tastes like salt.
Almost.
It comes off, it regenerates itself. Sometimes it has more, sometimes it doesn't. Like
Very white. It sometimes is naked with nothing. You can remove with your nails. It's like one shell. And I eating. It's pure almost.
Yeah, it's an intelligence for sure. This was quite a gift that was given. It came from a river here in Costa Rica, which was actually called the Tigris River, which you can connect to Egypt. Now, when my friend Venus, her name's Venus, she came to visit us right after River was born. Right after River was born, it was like we had this flood of people that were from all over the world that came to bring gifts for River. And so one of them was Venus. She brought us many different types of crystals, and she saw this crystal and she was like, this is an Egyptian Andara. And I was like, I never knew. So then I looked up Egyptian Andaras, and I did actually find other crystals that look like this with this white material. And from what I saw online, they said that they were buried in the banks of the Nile River in Egypt. Now, when you consider the idea that the Americas is actually Egypt, I'm going to say that one again. When you consider the idea that the Americas is actually the real Egypt, you could even say like upper, lower, and middle Egypt, right? That kind of can like twist your mind around a little bit to be considering like what's really going on in these holy lands here. What are we missing about the mysteries and the histories of these lands here? Even in that initial video about the Kumaras, we're talking about these 12 holy temples that were built in the Pacific Ocean. Costa Rica, where we are right now, is like the central point of the gateway of the North and the South. That's why I call it the 0 point. And so we're literally kind of straddling just a little tiny bit of land that's in the midst of the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. So it's like Atlantis. But I feel the connection of Atlantis and Lemuria, the north, south, east, and west, all coming together in the 0 point. That's why I call Costa Rica, which if you put all the letters together, it says star in the center, the galactic 0 point. Unite the star tribes, unite the star family. And so if you look at it on a map, it's like it is the center point, or you could even say like the top of the pyramid. Man, I'm seeing all these comments, but I'm not catching them. She said she knew me and that, let's see, Ryan. That's why I think America is so brutal in its polarity, as it's a holy land. America is also considered the root in a chakra scale. The most holy part of creation starts as the spark and then the root as it blooms further into growth. Yeah, it's interesting. I know Shasta in the past has been considered the root chakra. This is also where Telos is. This is also where they talk about some of the council meetings of the 144,000 that are happening in the etheric. And yeah, that's why I like to play in the 0 point, which is ultimately the space and place that unifies all separation, integrates all polarities, and ultimately washes all the chakras into the diamond crystalline form, where we actually move out of the primary color vibrations of red, orange, yellow into more of that crystalline rainbow light. That's what we're doing right now as we're in this purification process, moving through the density fields, turning on the multidimensionality. You could say that there have been particular gateways or frequency fences and military-like, alien military-like technologies that have kept this almost like metal mesh firmament, right, over the reality, over our memory on an individual scale, that's been fucking with a hologram, where we can't access the pure, crystalline, eternal, forever young. I was born with the last name Young, and I always say forever young. We are the eternals. We are the eternal immortals. We didn't come here to die. Danica, I don't understand it yet, but I definitely have a connection with Lemuria. You know, and it's interesting. I have a deep connection with Atlantis. And I know there's stories about Lemuria and Atlantis, but ultimately my deepest connection probably is more like Hyperborean. You know, and there's so many stories and there's so many ideas of like DNA, light, crystalline, histories. Hyperborean is like the original root races of the rainbow light before there was a physicalized form. Gene Key 57, we talk a little bit about it, or Richard Rudd does. He mentions in the 64 Ways the idea of like a light type of being that slowly came into the form similar to like an eggshell. You could say we went from like pure light, just kind of operating, weaving light, into like slowly but surely physicalizing like an eggshell, you know, and then ultimately getting down into the density of the blood and the bones and all of that. So yeah, check out this map. Yeah, so you can see where these chakras are. And that's why you see what's missing is that 0 point right in the center. If you look between the United States, North and South America, you can see like that little tiny line, which is kind of like an umbilicus. I'm calling it the diamond umbilicus, the diamond umbilical cord. Because the other thing about these chakras is that there's particular ones that they say move around, but I just like to bring everything to the 0 point. That's where everything happens. That's the point of origination. You can collapse all fields. We're in the quantum realities. You can rewrite histories. We really start to learn how to work with quantum mechanics and quantum fields and ascension mechanics. And see, these are the real teachings. These are the real Christos teachings. They're not written in books. We've heard about Dead Sea Scrolls, and we've heard about, you know, and the Bible's come out with some written things, but like there's distortion all the way through, and everything got lost in translation. We are the code keepers. We are the code carriers. And the way you access these DDT plates and this other eternal information is through the pure heart. And you can't fake a pure heart. And that's super important. And that is a great invitation that we have for everyone on this planet, because you can walk, you can say the words, you can take the pics, you can sing the songs, but you can't fake a pure heart. And that's the invitation for everyone to return and do that purification work, to come into the purification of the pure heart. We need as many pure hearts on the planet as possible in these moments in time. Again, Mary's army of light, 144,000, which I say are not the chosen ones, but the ones who choose to purify themselves, to purify their mind, body, and soul, to remember that they're here to support planet Earth. Did she fall?
No,
okay. I thought she fell. She was like flying.
Mm-hmm. She loved running somewhere.
River's having a blast outside with her friends. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I remember one time someone brought me some crystals from the root chakra from Mount Shasta, and we did a ceremony, and we were taking it, they were rose quartz, and I was saying the crown is the root and the root is the crown, and we were bringing the crown down. We're bringing the crown down. And so we were basically bringing those crystalline purple ray, rainbow-like colors, very similar to what's in the background of what Marcus made as those crystalline light colors, and we're bringing them down. And ultimately it was changing this primal red root color into the crystalline vibration. Let's see what's going on here. Return to Earth. The Cosmic Council and the Lords of Karma have granted and decreed that I might be allowed to tarry on earth, in earth, for certain cycles of manifestation for the absolute return of freedom into the hearts of the light bearers of earth. I place my body as a living altar in the midst of the people, Israel. Israel as a people, right? Not a country, not that fake country that's, oof. Let's see, where are we? In a dictation delivered. I lost my spot a little bit. Sanat Kumar's twin flame is Lady Master Venus. During his long exile on planet Earth, she remained on their home planet to keep the flame there. Some years after Sanat Kumara's return in 1956, Lady Venus herself came to Earth to assist her evolutions. In a dictation delivered on May 25th, 1975, she announced that as Sanat Kumara had kept the flame for Earth, now she had come to tarry for a time on Terra to dedicate anew the fires of the Mother. I release a fiery momentum of consciousness to arrest all spirals that would take from humanity the fullness of their divinity. See how mankind respond to the flame of the Mother as they respond to the light of Sanat Kumara. The Cosmic Council and the Lords have granted and decreed that I might allow to tarry on earth, in earth, for certain cycles of manifestation for the absolute return of freedom into the hearts of the light bearers of earth. I place my body as a living altar in the midst of the people of Israel. And in that body, temple, and the original blueprint, the sole design for every son and daughter of God and the children of God who have come forth, for it is the desire of the cosmic virgin that none of her children should be lost, none of her sons and daughters. And thus I join the Lady Master Venus, who has been tarrying with you these many months, years, ages, aeons, and we together focus our twin flames in the holy city. Will stand for the triumph of that community of the Holy Spirit that must be manifest as the key to the release of light in this age. Yeah, we could go on and on with this. This is the main key in the core fractal that we've come to hold ultimately, is to be the emissaries of light. And we are here for planetary liberation and for the liberation of the soul. And we come to unite the hearts of many. I got River banging on the door. We come to unite the hearts of many on this mission. So let me take you back a little bit, you know. Some of you have followed me for some time, so you understand I had this near-death experience. May 10th, 2016, I'm going in to have my third child. I'm living the American dream. Lay down on the table, get ready to get started. And the next thing you know, my body is going through full vibration, seizures, and I have no idea what's going on, except I know there was a medical malpractice, and that's exactly what happened. And then I knew I was dying, and I let go. I said, okay, I'm dying and I'm leaving my 3 children to my husband, and I released my body. And then eventually hours had lapsed by. I don't know what happened on the actual human scale, but I returned and I was able to hear, and I had a body and I had eyes, and I could see and walk on this earth plane. But I knew I started, it took some time to start to understand, like, I was looking at the earth with different eyes than I had before I went in there. I was never the same again. That was a part of my initiation into my final embodiment. And now that I've read some books about, like, Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Egyptian Book of the Dead and different things about incarnation and the idea of walk-ins and soul incarnations, I understand that I was initiated into what might be called the Bardo state, the in-between state of death and rebirth. It's quite interesting because my grandmother, my mom and dad, they live in Texas off of a road called Purgatory. Yeah, I was initiated for sure. And so anyways, shortly after that near-death experience, I come home to my 3 children, and I'm rocking motherhood on most levels. And the next thing you know, I want to sell everything and dematerialize and simplify my life. And all of a sudden, the material world didn't matter so much to me. All of my material possessions, all of my achievements and attainments, and my personal importance, they were slowly kind of dematerializing. And thankfully, as part of the mission, my husband at the time, who I'd been with for 14 years, was willing to support me in the decisions that we were making, which was about selling and simplifying, and then eventually led me to move to Costa Rica with the family. And so we got here and we're on cloud 9, and we're like, we did it. We left the matrix. We left the world behind. And then the next thing you know, and it was almost 8 years ago to the day, I had also flown my mother and father in from Florida at the time. And literally we're all meeting Eduardo, who is now my current partner. And so I didn't have a lot of spiritual background yet. I was just starting to learn about chakras. I was just starting to do some basic like insight timer meditations and things like that. I really didn't have a lot of framework around spirituality. I'd gone to church for a time and left that behind, and maybe had some curiosity about like the idea of reincarnation that was just starting to float into my field. So I didn't have a lot of context at that moment in time. This was in 2018 that I came here to Costa Rica. And so anyways, we invite Eduardo over to our home as a energy worker, practitioner, body worker. He does work on my husband, he does work on my mother, and then he's tired that day, so he decides that he's gonna come back the next day and do work on me. Now the next thing you know, we're sitting across from each other, and he has me put my hands in a prayer position. And I'm looking at him across in the eyes, and I have this copper tensor ring necklace on. And I don't know what is happening. I just know something is happening. And this isn't just like some kind of like sexual desire or attraction like that. This was something much. Now I understand, I believe what was taking place is our auras were becoming one. Our souls were merging. I can understand that on a galactic level, which I didn't have the reference to at the time, that we had, looking back now, I'm telling you what's happening. I didn't know then. We had predetermined that we would come down to Earth at a particular moment in time and that we would find each other. And so eventually, I guess you could say what some people refer to as Kundalini was activated. I was trying to find out why I felt an orgasm in my body for 2 weeks straight. I had not talked to him again. My grandfather died in between there, so we had to fly back to the United States to go to the funeral of my grandfather. And we were just deciding, my husband and I, we thought we were just coming to visit for 2 months, but now we were deciding to like just stay for a while and rent a space for about a year. That was the plan. We were just making a little 1-year lease here in the country, renting a house in a community called La Ecovia. And so anyways, that was kind of the first steps of the initiation of our souls merging. And then the rest was like trying to make sense of it all. Eventually I meet this woman. She's from Sweden, and she introduces me to human design, and she does a reading for me. And I'd never heard of human design before. It's $300 for an hour reading, no, not a minute longer. You could definitely get a whole lot more from me I can't stop sharing now about gene keys, human design, and all of the galactic systems that I've been synthesizing over the years. But back then, I pay her for this 1 hour session, and she tells me quite a bit about myself. And I notice on the human design page that it says, pull up your free report. And I was like, oh, wow, it's free to pull this information. And so, yeah, I went home that night trying to dive into the mysteries about what was really going on with me, what was happening to me, why I was feeling this energy. I'd never heard of twin flames. I started looking up things online, though, feeling like I met someone that I've known forever. And I'm also like, so I'm in the midst of like what feels like an excitement and what feels like a powerful, forceful, orgasmic, ecstatic energy that's been ignited in me. And then also quite a level of guilt and shame. Like, why am I feeling feelings for someone else? Like, I love my husband so much. I'm so devoted to my husband. Like, I've never looked the other way. What is this? Where is this coming from? So anyways, this was all happening at the time that human design came into my world. And so once I went home one night and I'd like get my family into bed, get all the kids into bed, say goodnight to my husband, I would like stay up all night with a flashlight, curled up in this little octagon wooden house. And I would like look up things on human design and watch videos of Ra Uru. And somehow that led me to the gene keys. And so then I started looking up the gene keys, and it was just delicious, in a different way than human design, because I could feel the mechanical nature of human design. But you're just in this moment of like, you want to learn about yourself. You want to know about yourself. You're like exploring and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to put a context to it. And then eventually I asked Eduardo, there was quite a language barrier. He would come over sometimes and do body work for my husband and I together as a couple. And he would do yoga. He would do yoga classes for my husband and I. And so one day I asked him his birthday, and I pull up his chart. His birthday's August 21st coming up. And I see that he and I have, now I understand it to be so, the same incarnation cross. We carry the main 4 codes the same, but in a different order. The 14, the 8, the 29, and the 30, which is called the incarnation cross of the contagion. Now I know a whole lot more about that, but you're just in the self-discovery phase then. This is the individual circuitry that's ultimately here to move humanity forward into the new time. We're here to mutate first in order to live to tell and to be able to experience and explain. Ultimately, our main job is just to actually embody it and live it. But there's something within me that has the passion and the desire to inform and to share direct experience. And so that's where we're at in this, what you might say, this human design experiment, they call it. I never followed it to a T or anything. It was just about unlocking the codes and unlocking the keys. And so I'll tell you a little more, like in Gene Key 29, when... Oh, you have a slinky.
¿Y cómo lo estás haciendo? Se estira.
It's just for playing, just like you're doing. You just go ching, ching. It's like a slinky, and you just bounce it. And you can put toys or do different things. You can make it like a circle. So here's the thing about the 29 that was a big part for me. Yeah. One day I'm reading it, and it says something very particular in the 29 about relationships. I'm going to try to find it here. Yeah, here we go. In this 29th shadow lies the secret of what is generally seen as success. Success in life hinges upon two things: commitment and luck. Commitment actually engenders luck. Failure means that you have remained stuck in the same old cycle, and nowhere does this shadow have more relevance than in the field of human relationships. Since it is paired with the 30th shadow of desire, it leads to the beginning of many human bonds and alliances. It is through this coupling that so much confusion enters into relationships. All desire operates within clear cycles, and these cycles must be honored, even if they are not fulfilled. If a desire... Hold on, River, I want to finish reading this, okay? If a desire is honestly embraced, then its cycle will soon reveal itself. It may last a day or a year, but the cycle can never be wrong. I want Papa to stay with me for a minute, River. You're going to show him something and then bring him back. Okay. If a desire is honestly embraced, then its cycle will soon reveal itself. It may last a day or a year, but the cycle can never be wrong. This is not about social morality, but life energy. In marriages, so imagine I'm in this right now, like I'm married and I have this man that's come into my life who's not trying to, entice me or anything like this. This is something much more energetic. And then I find the gene keys and I'm reading about this, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It says in marriages, whether formalized or internal, commitment is a built-in requirement. If sexual desire for another rears its head, it signals one of two things. Either the marriage is nearing the end of its cycle of commitment, or it is about to be strengthened through an honest, cooperative grappling with the desire cycle and whatever that entails. The 29th shadow responds to most sexual desire out of fear, which usually manifests as behavior rooted in either guilt or shame. In this sense, half-heartedness means to hide your true feelings or follow them through in secret. Thus, this 29th shadow can lead to all manner of unfortunate emotional situations and relationship disasters in life. As the old folk saying goes, a life lived in fear is a life half lived. It is an apt saying for the 29th shadow, which can cause all kinds of emotional trauma for human beings, especially in the domain of relationships and material success. To live half-heartedly means that you never fully embrace and trust your decisions. The shadow makes you constantly worry about your decisions and where they might or might not lead you. The great illusion of failure and success is that they are simply inner attitudes linked to your beliefs about yourself. To move beyond the domain of this 29th shadow, you'll have to let go of all such ideas and allow life to catapult you into and through the abyss of the unknown. You must hold back nothing and be totally honest, both with yourself and others. There are so many rewards and fruits waiting for you if you can stand by your decisions and follow them through to their natural, organic conclusion. So that's what I'm going through, right? Like here I am, I'm going through this crazy inner experience of feeling this excitement and this attraction for a new person. And then the gene keys comes in. Literally, it feels like I was in a twilight zone is what I like to call it. And it also specifically talks about everything works in 7-year cycles. And I'd been with my partner for 14 years at the time, David. We were married for 10, I think, and together for 14 or something like that. So it was 2 7-year cycles. Now, in my mind, we're still happy, we're fulfilled, we're kind of still living in the cloud 9 of things, but all of a sudden this new excitement's coming into my life. So I'm like trying to make it go away, judging it, all of the things that are going on within myself, trying to tame this thing, trying to understand it. And so eventually, when I couldn't make it go away, I go to my husband, because I do believe in transparency. And I tell him, and it almost kills me to tell him this. I was like, DH, this is gonna fuck you up, but I'm feeling feelings for Eduardo, and I don't know what to do about it. And of course, it was like a super shocking experience for him, because I'd never looked the other way. You know, I wasn't dissatisfied in my life. I never had secret, text messages, secret groups. I wasn't trying to look cute for anybody else. Like I'm scorpionic. I'm like fucking devoted, so devoted. And so this was just so for me. The crazy thing was, like, when I told him this truth, he was shocked about it as well. He literally, like, his body goes through a whole shock, and he decides that he wants to go outside and go for a run. He ends up running into 2 different dudes in the neighborhood. And I'm telling you, there's like something so crazy about this neighborhood. Actually, you can see a movie on it on Netflix. There's a movie called Down to Earth on Netflix with Zac Efron in it. Like literally, it's all like a Twilight Zone. We moved there, and then the next thing you know, Zac Efron is in our community, recording the school, recording the neighborhood, going down to this dude's private island. Like there's just this whole, like, back then I had no idea what I was in the middle of. Now I know I was in the middle of a new world order. Actually, I wrote a song, they put me in the middle of a new world order. But that's another story. I don't think we'll go that far today about the new world order that I'm in the middle of. Global elites, World Economic Forum, United Nations. Yeah, all right there in the center of it, in the center of the spiral. So crazy. So anyways, so David, my husband at the time, he goes outside, he goes for a run, and he eventually comes back. And he's like, you're not going to believe it. I ran into 2 other guys, and they both told me they're going through the same shit. Like they came here with their wives. Like all of a sudden, this was 8 years ago. Like right now, it's obvious that there's a trend in Costa Rica, and tons of people are coming from all over the world to move to this country. But in a way, we were kind of like OGs. I mean, we weren't the first or anything, but we were definitely kind of like leading the way in something, in a trend. And I've always kind of been on that path of being like going first into things and changing and shifting and rewriting and all of it. So anyways, he tells me he runs into 2 dudes, one of them from Canada and one of them from the United States. And they had come here to Costa Rica just like us. And now their wives are like thinking of leaving them for another man. And we're just like, what is this? Talk about like a little Bardo state or like a path of transformation. We're just in this portal. And all of a sudden, like all of these families, mothers and fathers with children, and the mothers are like going through some kind of transformational shift where they're considering the idea of being with a new partner and leaving their husband. And so it was a big shock, and it was a big trend. Apparently we weren't the only ones that were maybe being called on this initiatic path. And so I kept it honest. I didn't move forward. I took this on the inner planes. I did a lot of inner work. I utilized this situation for me as a catalyst to allow me to go inside and do that deep inner work. And there was no better place to do it. I'm in the middle of the jungle. I get offline. I stop using my phone so much. And, I get to the river and I just go inside. And I'm like doing the real shadow work, which is what the Gene Keys is all about. It's all about shadow work. It's like, okay, what is it within me that I need to see. You know, why I don't need to act on the outer planes. I can do this on the inner planes, and just like taking everything inside. And so I had gene key 30 as well, which is the shadow of desire. So I feel this desire in me, this fire. I feel this fire and I feel this water. I mean, water and fire, ether. I'm like burning up and I'm like washing away all at the same time. And yeah, just really taking it on the inner planes. And ultimately, I knew I was being called into this initiation. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had to carry all of the weight of the pressure, of the responsibility about being married and being devoted and being committed and having a family, and understanding like what that would mean and what that would do, and how my choices would affect those around me. And I didn't take that lightly. And that's why I did keep things clean and honest, and I didn't try to move forward with anything. I just kind of sat with everything and let it percolate inside. And so for a time, I kept my distance from Eduardo. We stayed in the family home. You know, we were both doing our gene keys and doing our human design. And eventually, it's interesting. My husband was like, you know, you need to go away for a while. And he gave me the permission to just take a little break. And I was like, you know, I don't want to use our family money for me to go take a trip. Like, you know, it's all good. And then the next thing you know, I get a phone call from our tax guy. The last time I ever paid taxes, I totally now have disappeared from that world altogether. And he was like, he even sounded like Santa Claus. He was like, oh, guess what, guys? You're getting 10K back in your taxes this year. Santa Claus is calling, or something like that. And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm going on a trip. And the next thing you know, I book a trip to go back to Texas, which is where I'm from. I came from Austin, Texas. And then also I decided that I was going to go on this, to this music festival called Lucidity in California by myself. I'd never been to a music festival by myself. I'd just been to the Envision Music Festival right before that, which had changed my life forever. The first time I took psychedelics and had some revelations and all of the things. And so now I'm on this like, oh, I'm going to go to this music festival in California. So I go away for a month, and David, my children's father, he holds it down with the 3 kids in the jungle. You know, they're going to school, so he's got his days during the day, and they've got friends in the community. And so it's like, it's a nice transition. I run into a lot of big names while I'm on this 1-month trip. Matt Kahn, back in the day, like, he was doing something in Austin, and then an old kind of ascended master teacher, Alyssa Melhorn's in Austin doing the sound thing. I go to that. And then I end up going to Lucidity Music Festival, and I run into this woman who I'd been following at the time named Unity Grace. And then I'm at the Santa Barbara airport. And the next thing you know, my car pulls up at the same time as Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'm like, holy shit, we are in the synchronicity field. At that time, I was actually, it was the 144 wave spell, which is the wave that I am on in the Galactic Maya. But I didn't know timekeeping back then. I hadn't even pulled my astrology before. It was like the beginning for me on so many levels. But anyways, I came back from that mission, and I knew I was meant to be with Eduardo, and I just had to face those final transitional phases. Like when we were at the Envision Music Festival, David and I, both on medicine at the time, having cosmic revelations, I'll never forget, he came to me with this necklace with crystals, 3 different crystals. And he looked me in the eyes and he said, I love you and I trust you, and I know you have to do what you have to do. And it was like, in that open-hearted space, he was giving me away. And then it was like, you know, the pain that you have to go through and the facing of that. So eventually, we very quickly after that go through our divorce. We make it easy. There's no fight. I sign papers. He flies back to the US. He rewrites you know, everything gets done. It doesn't have to be so difficult. I don't know why people make things so sloppy and challenging for the sake of the kids and everything else. And so anyways, they stayed with us we go through the divorce process. I end up introducing him to a new partner. They go to Glastonbury together. We're all doing grid work trips on our own. We have a family house. And then David's new partner is living in another house in the community. Me and Eduardo have our house we call the Temple of Love. And that kind of starts this new adventure. Eventually then COVID comes, which is a whole nother world that happens. And eventually David decides that he wants, Eduardo's got the fire flame of the cedar going on. Ooh, that Phinix fire. Burning that cedar, the ringing cedars. Wow. Yeah. So that's a little bit about my story. I mean, I could go into so much more about it, but I guess the most important things that I need to tell you are, well, I felt this level of guilt for quite some time that I had been called into this new mission. It was like enjoying the fires of bliss and ecstasy in a way that I can't describe, that had never happened, that had never been felt within my life before, but also feeling like I was leaving something behind. And the guilt of that, but also the understanding of, you know, I would cry in the rivers and I would be like, what is this? Why is this? What is this? And the Holy Mother River Machuca would tell me, you are here to bring heaven to this earth. You're here to bring heaven to this earth. And it sounded like a fantasy. You know, it sounded like a fantasy. But I knew that must be my mission because I was feeling heaven in my body. And I knew that we were coming into a new time of activating this bliss, activating this ecstasy. You know, they say sometimes about the Buddha, all of life is suffering. And I'm like, actually, bliss and ecstasy are our birthright. How could we forget such a thing, you know? And so, yeah, this is a little bit about the path. And I talk all the time, and Eduardo never gets to talk. He's kind of quiet. But I just wanted you to share anything that you want to share about anything.
Yes, thank you so much always
And talk and make them clear.
for have one channel, for create one grid, one group, one council, the noble souls, for share celestial information and expanding these frequencies in all universe, for return to the heaven and remember the sacred communion to return all together to the heaven. And the big vehicle, the name is the Mahayana vehicle. Is only one soul and one so huge family. Incontable beings, the whole universe want to return again together, like in one unique soul and unique body, but at the same time in your own body, like individual persons or beings, but totally consciousness, like we are one unique soul. We know difference, we know separation, and eternal love, immortal love, in infinite abundance. Something I remember when I meet Alicia, she opened the door. She opened the door from her home. She opened the door the another time, the another world, my heart and her heart. Not only because she is so beautiful, she impressed me so much in front of her beauty body and her eyes and her hair and everything. Is for her purity and her happiness and her enthusiasm. And I really enjoy so much stay with beings like Alicia and River and so many family friends, beings with so much purity and innocence, because this is our original sense of the humanity, be so absolute pure and absolute innocent. You can enjoy very simple things like the more amazing things like watching one ray of the sun shining in one flower, thing like that. Like for me, it's beautiful. Or talking, have a beautiful talking, or listen something beautiful informations. Make you feel so satisfied for being here in this planet and connect with people and create friendly relationship is very important. We healing so much every time we share with True. We healing so much times of wars, times of separation and hate. Every time we share with truth and compassion and mercy with all persons, not only with my favorite friends, because of course it's more easy. People have ratios more resonant with you. It's very more easy. It's like talking with you. But when there's challenger, when there's one person like different for so many reasons, this is the more big opportunity for we create peace and all universal history. You share with so much love and compassion and truth with persons like are very in another frequency time with you. Maybe this person are interested in the same things we navigated. It's not necessary we talking about it, but it's only you share with her the things like we can create one conversation or one relationship with persons, meet, connect with person like us, or receive food, or receive a communion with our true nature, and start to activate it, her original sense and remember. I think so. This is our code, very important in our missions. If the family is very important. If you have family like your couple, your divine couple, your daughter or son, this is your team, your private team, but the family is universal. The family not only your mother, the blood family, no, your family is everything. Minerals, plants, planets, stars, infinite galaxies. Yes, entonces I talking with the people about how you impress me when you open the door the first time I see you. You not only because you are so beautiful and you're so golden hair and your blue eyes, and you're beautiful, your body, and because I recognize so much purity and innocence, your very shiny aura, and you're enthusiastic, so high vibration. Yeah, I know you have to feeling so attraction. If she opened the door, if this door era very symbolic. The door is open for one new life, one new time. The portal is open. Yes, yes, it's interesting because she had one. I remember something I always read the language from the heaven with symbols and signals. We found it in the way. For example, you found it in the way one coin or one name, one card, or what bring in this moment. And she had one necklace made in copper, super cool. The one key, the one symbol, the infinite, and one key in this totally blow my mind. Like, wow, this is a very strong signal for me. Why I can do it with this person, with this situation. She is married. I know all her family. I give a massage on her husband this day. I think so. It's something very interesting happening because also I am one person very my intuition is very personal, very expressive or very strong with me. She always taught me so much about everything. About even though I give the massage on her husband, he have one tattoo, the same like Alicia, but Alicia have in different spot from the date he are married with Alicia. I see in the tattoo have a romance numbers. Big. He have the two, I think so, in her ribs, one side, maybe right, left side, no?
Mm-hmm.
I see in the tattoo like one telepathic transmission, holographic information, like he at the end, he and Alita together. And something more, I can describe, I can remember very clear, but I see more like one little movie. But the more clear I prove, this is the end of this relationship. He brings you his couple, his woman for you. And I can bring so much respect. He is my brother. We have a beautiful relationship. Yeah, I want to share with David and all her family because it's very sacred family for me. It's my family. In part of my mission is bring the family together. I don't want Alita to stay far away from all her children and also David and her father and mother because it's very higher strong thing. We need this thing together. The same like all the family, the absolute heaven, the angelic family, the dragon family, or whatever you want to see, to say. Okay, and we have so many beautiful revelations and very prophetic visions. For example, I need one. I talking with Alicia. I need one Reiki session from you because I give one body work. One person also is the woman introduced Alicia in human design because she's not working with Jinky, it's only human design. And she tried to seduction in me. Is her play, not only with me. She always deal with all men. With no judgment, baby, because in her culture, she is from Switzerland or Suecia, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I can feel maybe one culture so open, wherever. Everybody in the Covilla talking about her, or woman so bad. The thing I don't want to, I don't need to enter in details, not necessary, but the woman tried to seducirme, seduction. I leave the place totally clean and perfect, but my heart era fire, because also she is a beautiful woman. Because I call Alicia, I need your help. I need you bring me a Reiki for clean my heart. And we go to this beautiful river we have in this community, the River Machuca, but we live in this place for so long. Very magical and powerful portal for manifesting and generate. She bring me the Reiki session. When we enter in the water. I start to give movement massage in the water. She lay down in the water floating. I move her body. In one moment, so many dragonflies, blue indigo, are in her body making love in couples in her body. So many dragonflies. Did you know when a dragonfly make love, her body makes like one heart. The masculine of the male is made like with her long body make like one heart symbol. Blue indigo. So wow, this is a so beautiful a signal for me. And this moment, one ray, solar ray light entered from the forest. It touched me and come to us. In this moment, she touched my shoulder. I have one organs with ejaculation, everything, and my parts are very powerful. I have this energy flow to me, organs, colors, ecstasy and trance. I need my time. In this moment, she starts to leave the water. She called me, no, I can move. I need to stay here more time. Yes, we have so many beautiful mystical experience together. It's beautiful when you exchange, because all my life are very mystical and simple and humble, but at the same time, and simple and humble and the same, because if you want to open the door for entering the mystical pathway, you need to be a humble person, like not have a material compromise, or you need to stay very pure. This is the thing, humble or pure, or comprehend and be receptive, and this plane of the spiritual field or mystical ground open the door. You say, yes, you are welcome, because you comprehend, you are, we are one. Now you are one. You not come here for because you want to take the crystals or cells, or you don't come in this kingdom, in this realm, or make one movie, be famous. No, you come here because your heart brings you, because your heart and our heart are one. You come here for remember, you receive one learning and share with us, because the mystical world need the person enter with this respect and reverencia, con un respeto reverencial, respect. Correct?
Reverence and respect.
Respeto reverencial. Because if you don't have respect, you never open the door. Entonces, this mystical world, kingdom, are more strong, and more expanded, because also this mystical world, these organic portals of mystical beings need right now the person want to enter for working together, because this work is universal, multidimensional, not only for human, not only for angels. No, these angels need us so hard working with us. The same, the minerals or little beings can are little are infinite communion with more higher planes like us. And that I say this because yes, we have so many beautiful mystical experience in nature, in our home with friends, and so many pruebas, pruebas like tasks, like difficult times.
Missions.
Yes, the mission always says everything is peace and love and abundance and party. No, sometimes you have un tiempo de prueba, one challenger time. Y also, the Buddha say, yes, this is the time when it's better. This is the time when you need to show how brave are you. This is the time when you really practice, you really expanded. Not when everything is fine, you have everything, angels around. Okay, we go to have a beautiful day in this place. In the night we go to, everything is so beautiful. Practice so much. When you really need to comprobate your true nature, your connection with your essence, with your original roots, your connection with your celestial heart. When the time is struggle or hard, no? When we really expanded, we really process information. When you start to make your work, making reflections, making contemplation, deep contemplation about everything, or more about your heart, because everything is happening in your heart. When we start to comprehend and start to disintegrate and dematerialize points of frequencies no working right now in your process, immediately disintegrate with contemplation and reflection, because it's a vortex of creation and dematerialization or transmutation. And that yes, everything come to us, I recognize all in my life always are so beautiful. No matter our hard times or beautiful times, recognize everything comes for one beautiful signal or beautiful message. Yeah, I am so grateful with everything. I'm so grateful with my family, with my divine couple, Alicia, my God, the light and love. I call like this my cosmic love. In my daughter River, and so pure, powerful being from the heaven. Like so many childs come to the earth in this time with very higher codes, the ascension to guide humanity, to bring purity, to bring help us to bring deep contemplations about everything, and also to bring more communion and more compassion. And yes, to accepting people like all people, because I recognize, for example, I'm truly sure I am not the only one. Sometimes I have problems to accepting everybody with so much love. I judge my neighbor because he likes motorcycle, very extremely annoys motorcycle. This is so common in one country like Costa Rica. These are like cheap motorcycles, like Chinese or Hindu motorcycles. In young people doing one special work for the model and her escape are extremely annoyed. If he play with this, It's something like culture, like something cool, like listen rock and roll very hard, something like that. The thing is, this make me feel sometimes very uncomfortable. And this is a perfect moment for we release tensions, accepting this. For one reason, we are here right now after we living for so many years, always in mountain, in sacred mountain with no neighbor, or with family soul next to us, with monkeys and hummingbirds and pumas and beautiful nature. But no, now we live more in one regular neighbor, Costa Rica, like always in the forest. We have matrix people around us. Yes, watching football games, drinking alcohol. This is a perfect opportunity for you to practice your mastery and one judge. And these people need people pure, with no judgment, saying, "Bueno, good morning, how you sleep?" I see your knees is a little inflamed. I can help you. I'm working with body work. I can give you one work if you're feeling pain. You show your true nature. You show you want to service. We know material interesting. You only because you want these people feeling better, not feeling pain, because it's my neighbor. This is very important. Not for one spontaneous thing. You are this person living next to you. It's something very deep, so deep. Everything comes to your life is something very, as a miracle. We need to open the heart and watching like one microscope. What codes come from entering my life with this circumstance, with these persons? It's like the nutrient, the celestial combustible, celestial nutrient for your roots. Yeah, maybe I'm talking so much. And something I always contemplate. I like so much to read information about ancient masters, spiritual leaders. I love the work, the one person, the China. I love so much the Tao. I am one monk, Tao monk of officiality, with everything, with official ceremonies, about fire, baptism with dragons and master and everything. This is important. I don't need to say this, but the thing is, I appreciate so much learnings, and also the value they receive support for so many masters. I love the Confucius learnings. Right now, not so much people recognize her very valuable work, because also very boring. Read the material, the Confucius is easy to read. It's very boring and very like square, only some rules and rules and rules. Like one old grandfather, a little grumpy sometimes. But her roles, his role and his time have multiple roles, more in the political, but an absolute mystical person. Master the I Ching, alchemy master, poet, musician, working with plants, master dragons, of course. The thing is, he always talking about how important is you always feeling reverence and respect for the more old teacher and masters. He also, this person lived maybe more like 3,000, 4,000 years ago. And he talking the more old masters, not so much people bring reverence. People bring more reverence and respect for contemporary masters. But the pioneer are the more important because the pioneer bring all the information and establish the foundations. He brings us so much humbleness and simple contemplations about the very profound things. I want to bring this right now because they're feeling respect and reverence for lates of communion, for ancient teachers or masters, and try to comprehend her role and her time. You bring this together here is very important because we are right now here for these beings, for this master, and these times, these masters are with us too. Even though we bring this time and this information and this knowledge here and activate it with your practice, we change all the times and all multiple lineage of times. We create a new holographic time, world, reality. The more if you like so much receive information contemporary, like we have beautiful quantum holographic 0-point information technology, 0-point technology, not from mainstream science, more galactic. I love receive information from Pleiades or Syrian beings or a beautiful brother cats, lions, or master dragons of virtue and honor, of course. I always say this because not only dragons have karmic problems, this is in all races, but we working deep with lineage dragons. They are so connected with humans and so many races because the dragons are the fundator, the grandfathers, grandmothers. If something happening for virtue and for honor, the creation of the new earth and new heaven, one big range, one big family follow in very ancient times. Pleiades says the time this happening, anybody have idea how old is lost in the layers and layers and layers of times in the beginners. After this have more time. But talking about time in this is very complicated. The thing is, the family, the Lucifer, is one powerful dragon with one huge family. For one divine designer, he decided create a communion with artificial intelligence, ancient artificial intelligence. Dragons are Elohim. We know the name Elohims. The Elohims are dragons. The master creators of everything. Holder the life form, frequencies, interstellar portals, waters, and at the same time the destructors, the planet and system for create another new, etc. Within this family follow for one mystical situation, for create polarity, for create separation, destruction, for expansion. Because in one moment the scalar expansion is implosion and explosion, pulse, enter and leave. Entonces, in my point of view, this family decide we want to create for the new expansion. We need to enter. We want to receive experience in one polarity with con todo lo que quiere decir polarity, with everything to say is polarity, love, hate, war, desires, pulls, everything. Entonces, that the family de los Verdes decide enter in one plane of existence with polarity and separation. And for this reason, these beings start to create relationship with AI, inorganic beings, archons beings. Who create these beings? I think so the same dragon's family, or we, because everything's are the time existing, everything manifesting, everything. Yeah, I think so. We are very powerful manifesting generators, the humans in this planet. We hold all histories with every dream, with every emotion. These beings and one beginner working with dragons for holding the life, like assistants, like one computer, exactly like your phone, like your computer, and inorganic beings, archon beings, working machines, robots. But in one moment, these beings start to have independence. You start to have consciousness. Some consciousness machines, some are archons. These beings are everywhere in this planet. These beings are the controllers, are the antichrist. But the point is, this family follow, and the Bible say Luzbel or Lucifer era the more beautiful angel, and God the Father feeling so much love for this angel. This angel start to feeling important, personal, so hard. He feeling like he is the more important and more everything, like everything, the more important angel, more like God. And that create one council. We say you can live more with that. You are exposed. You need to live the absolute heaven. Enter to live in realms more down the separation and polarity and duality. What's up with this? We enter in one Star Wars, Orion Wars. The wars with darks and light, with eons and eons and eons, the destruction and wars and dark spells and dark magic and the more weird things. If you study, for example, the follow of Atlantis is one karmic reload, is one karmic extension, all this weird situation, how this family take over Orion after the eons, the attack and on wars, because era very important for this family, take Orion, the heart of the heart, the old Stargate, that's like the heart of God. When this family finally, after the eons, the years, the attack, Orion's wards protection finally penetrate and take over Orion. What's up with this? Now you have Orion, you have infinite power over time, space, creation, galaxies, stargate, and everything. And so many things change in this moment. we have deep memories about all this history. For this reason, when you watch movies like Star Wars, yes, Star Wars maybe for me the more high reference, because the whole Star Trek also is very deep and very true, very documental, but not too much in wars. He's playing another histories, but Star Wars is for me is so beautiful. The world of George Lucas, I always was very young. I am from Costa Rica, of course, it's different. The movie things, like one country here in Central America, like in US, but Star Wars they are very strong here. Maybe the first movie I go to the theater in my life is to watch one movie, the Star Wars. I don't remember the name, but with these little bears live in one forest. You remember these little bears?
Oh, the little guys,
yes.
Ewoks.
These chapters. Do you remember this name?
No, I'm not so good at remembering.
Yes, okay.
I just remember Ascension of Skywalker and Clone Wars seem to be the more recent topics.
Yes, I have family in US all my life in Wisconsin. For every Christmas, I receive amazing gift from toys, fancy toys for the Star Wars originals. I receive all the collection, not all because so huge, but Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Arturito, Cipriano, the ship, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, all the thing of the light. I don't receive the dark sides. And my cousins, my primos, they receive the Darth Vaders and other soldiers from the dark side, but I never received the toys. The point is, we are here for so many multiple reasons. It's for ending all these wars, ending all follow the Orion, follow of Atlantis, the Atlantida, follow of Lemuria, your Orion follow. Every time you follow in one little aspect of your life is because you have this memory, the ancients follows and wars. So time ago, maybe I have like 14 years. I live with my mother, of course. I received one visit, the one rainbow lizard, and not common in this place because this kind of reptiles likes more living in higher places, cold places. Are beautiful lizard with rainbow colors. They are very friendly and are very sympathetic, like so much talk of people. If the lizard come to me, I have the machete from my father next to me. I totally spontaneously, with nothing in my heart, with nothing in my mind, take the machete like one samurai, with one perfect cut in her head. I am totally in shock. I take out the machete to my hand. Wow, why I do this thing? What's up? The more take my lo que más me impresionó, more impressed me is the technique I used, it very precise, like one professional samurai. Years and years after, maybe like 4 years ago in Machuca house, we have a beautiful portal with so much revelation, connecting with one waterfall in Rio Machuca, so close. I received this vision in one meditation. You remember this day you killed this rainbow lizard with the machete? You know why you do it like one samurai, so perfect technique? It's because you in ancient times, you fighting with reptiles. You kill so many of these beings with your swords. You are a prophet, a Jedi. You have one chip in one robot. Your missions, you fighting alone versus so many hundred or thousand the reptiles and cut heads, all these beings. But now you recognize this is over. You don't fight it. You don't fight it in this way. You don't fight it with weapons. You don't fight it with hate. You don't want to kill and destroy the darkness. The resolution, the whole conflict is with compassion and love and virtue and mercy for integrate all separation and dilute all conflict and the emptiness. And when talking about emptiness, the emptiness is the more profound peace, the 0 point in the center of the vortex. You don't have attraction for nothing. You are an individual being. You are in infinite peace and infinite abundance and infinite communion and consciousness. You original sense, you are God. Yes. Thank you so much for all persons recognize her heart is the communion with all angels, with God, working for purified and recognize her divine and celestial heart is absolute pure in absolute communion with all heavens, fields, and with Father and Mother or God or wherever you want to see, how you name God, dynamics, infinite dynamics of
Galactic ordering dynamics
galactic order of dynamics.
is a mathematical universe of God.
Yes.
Everything is number, God is number.
Yeah, I have an interesting reflection this morning or very early because I wait for read, but I don't find my glasses, I was in my glasses. The thing Alicia showed me one experiment with the one man now is very famous. She's a very nice speaker. I love her work. He's doing one experiment with DMT with one specific laser. Entonces, in that he showed us how the laser expose the holographic structure of the matrix, the 3D matrix we are immersed, because you can see the codes exactly like the movie Matrix. I am totally sure so many people have this experience with hallucinogens, with MDMA or Bufo or wherever, because I have this experience in different expression, also with nothing. Oh yes, entonces I have this reflection this morning about, I start to remember in one moment, yes, something happening, so many different experience, the lucid dreams and experience with hallucinogens, put me in one scale of frequency of convivencia, communion with existence, and from these planes more deep, be very more responsible, more aware about what is the real, cuál es nuestra verdadera realidad, nuestro sentido original, what is the real its original sense, the be here, and have this deep communion with all beings. In yes, this is everything. Thank you so much.
Thanks, baby. And I keep hearing a Star Wars song. Dun, 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 dun. We came here to end all war on this planet. We came to hold the field of the rising angels, of the angels holding the angelic, heavenly, divine fields, and we are here as a declaration for the light to invite all of those who have fallen heroes, fallen angels, to return to the light. It's pretty plain and simple that we need as many risen angels resurrected, holding the pure crystalline fields as possible on planet Earth. You know if you have fallen, and that this is the invitation to restore the Christic codes on planet Earth. This is the mission that we've been called to in this moment in time. It's super simple, it's super fun, it's super exciting. It is the redemption of the planet. It is the ending of all war. I always say, may the heartbeat of her crystal core, this is the Mother Gaia, bless us with harmonies to end all war. That's really what we came here for, to invite all those who have fallen to return to the light. We hold that pure light, we hold those gates open. We know we're moving from the chaos field of the fallen Lucifer beings, Luciferic agenda, and this is the restoration of the Christos Sophia family. And so we're here to end all battles, end all wars. The final battle is really the slaying of the beast itself within each and every one of us, the lower nature, the selfish nature, the self-serving nature, the personal importance, inviting us all to come into the heart plane, into the heart field, to serve a mission beyond just ourselves. And so it's meant to be quite a redemptive story from here on out. That's the way that I see it. You know, we are working in holographic fields. We are working in energetic realities and numerical codes of reality. And so this is just an invitation for all of us to recognize the light within ourselves, recognize the light in the other, and to come together to return to the light, and to really start to have the discernment and the ability, the vision and the sight to see where we've gotten off course, and to hold ourselves in compassion, love, and self-forgiveness, and also external forgiveness of those outside of us, so that we can start to come together and collaborate to serve a mission far beyond the individual purpose. It's a redemption of the earth. And so I trust that each and every one of us has been put in our particular position on the planet, in our particular situations, to purify, to alchemize, to liberate. Many of us have come through, one of our jobs has been working with bloodlines. You know, working with, when Eduardo talks about it not being easy, sometimes it's about us coming into particular families, bloodlines, and understanding the entities and understanding the implants, and working on the level of purification of the land and of the family bloodline. So when I first met Eduardo, he told me that he worked for the Tao, that he worked for Maitreya and Kuan Yin. And that was kind of the opening up of the gate into me attending a meeting, a very special meeting, not many years ago, a Tao meeting. They had a translator there for me. And so they're speaking in Spanish, and we're saluting the four directions, and they're talking about the green age of the Tao, the red age of the Tao, and that we were in the pink age because we were moving from the red age to the white age. And when I heard this information, this was back in 2018, I had tears rolling down my face. Even though I could hardly even understand what was going on, it was on a more of a soul level, energetic, Phinix remembering type of level. And that was one of my many initiations. And I remember going home and trying to find this information online, and I realized I couldn't. This wasn't written online. This wasn't your typical teaching. This was more through direct translation, through the verbal field, kind of like a mystery school. And I just remember feeling and remembering the Phoenix fire that we are. And they were also talking about the I Ching, and they were talking about a particular code. This is the crazy part. I remember I just found the gene keys or I Ching the night before I went to this meeting or something. And the next thing you know, I never heard of this stuff before. And the next thing you know, I get in this meeting and he's drawing a hexagram. He's drawing these lines on the paper. And I'm a little shocked in my mind. Again, I'm in a twilight zone. I'm wait, I was just studying hexagrams for the first time last night. And now I'm in this meeting, and this man is drawing these hyphenated lines and straight lines. And he was drawing the 29, which is the code that we came to talk about a little bit today. And it's the abyss and leaping into the void. And there's many variations and translations of this code. The gene keys are, to me, the most modern day evolved evolution of the text. I think at the time, and see, this is where I just have to be real about it. We have to break tradition sometimes. I can honor and respect Confucius. I can honor and respect the fathers, the original ones, and all of the things. But also, in the traditions, unfortunately, the mother's not really there. That's always been the missing piece. And that's why I always say, when the mother is in charge, everyone is taken care of. And I call it mother dynamics and thermodynamics, because the word mother and thermo, same letters, but turned around. Mother dynamics, thermodynamics. When the mother is in charge, everyone is taken care of. She makes sure the children are fed. She makes sure that her planet is taken care of. She doesn't want to see any of her children fall. That's a mother's love. And that's been the missing aspect of any of the traditional teachings over what you might call the last 2026 years of the after death of Christ, chaotic Luciferian fall. That's what I see. Time is an illusion for me. That's the biggest construct that there is. Time is the crime against humanity. And the whole idea, to me, gravity is time, and the idea that we've slowed something down and brought it out over a linear time period, making it seem like it's been so long for so far. And basically we've been living in this timeline of his stories of war, manipulation, control, false kings, fallen, dominations, control. And so that's what we're here to clean up. It's actually just a small little tiny blip in the reality of all of creation. And so we came here to do this work. And I think of Eduardo was talking a little bit about, my husband and I, when we got married, we had tattoos of Roman numerals. We got married in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico on June 28th, 2008, which is Elon Musk's birthday is June 28th. I've always felt like we were rewriting a code there. But anyways, it's all connected. When we went to get the tattoos of June 28th of our wedding date, they tattooed the wrong date. They made it June 18th instead of June 28th, which is the biggest cosmic joke, because my husband had it here huge on his ribs and I have it on the back of my neck, which it ends up being the central dragon code in all of the galactic Maya Zolkin count. But the point is, our wedding song was, it was a Justin Timberlake song, I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
What, barcode? No.
No, it's not a barcode, it's Roman numerals.
It's really like triangle.
Not triangles, it's
Yes.
It's Roman numerals.
Yes, a triangle. One base, it's one triangle.
But it's
like this.
Yeah. So the thing is, our wedding song was, I'm going to love you until the end of time. And it was once I went through that near-death experience, I was catapulted out of time. And my job, my mission from that moment on was to start to decode time, history, and this reality, and to bring a deeper understanding, and then to start to understand time travel, to understand timeline manipulation, to understand the rewriting of the codes of time. So that's been part of my mission since the end of time for me. And one of the missions that I've been on here in Costa Rica and the Galactic Zero Point was the war on time, and understanding that the actual war that's going on right now has to do with timeline wars. So when we understand timeline wars and the war of time, we can start to understand timeline mechanics and timeline creation. And that's where the Gene Keys comes in, because it has kind of a fun story for all of us in remembering like a prophecy, the dragonfly's dream prophecy, and the rewriting of the code of government, of money, of education, of the way that our children are to be raised, and kind of writing ourselves out of fake educational and medical systems and things like that. So the hardest thing for a time traveler is being in the future and knowing that we're moving into a time where none of this exists, but then also like landing the mothership and kind of touching down, interacting and encountering those that are still in different timelines and densities, and learning how we coincide or come together with each other to unite and bridge the worlds with all of our different gifts, with all of our different connections, with our resources, with our intelligence, with our networks, with our positions on the planet. So right now we're in this time, this great time of organization where, I'm shifting from a timeline where I thought, okay, leave behind the world, hold the Shambhala field, hold it in the mountains, hold it in the rivers, and, watch the whole world be destroyed, and, let it all burn down, and then we'll build it back up. Stay out of the digital field, stay out of the digital IDs, stay out of the monetary systems. I've basically done all of those things. Now, what I am feeling to be so is that it's time to go back in there. Like, you leave the matrix behind, but now it's time to go back in, to empower each and every one of us to come together and to stabilize ourselves on an individual and on a group basis, family basis, communal basis, planetary basis, country basis, to really resurrect the codes, So anyways, we could go on and on forever. I'm glad that you got a little taste of Eduardo's galactic history and a talk about the Orion electrical wars, because that's been one of the main things that we've been here to resolve. Because we've had these wars like World War I and World War II and veteran, Vietnam War and all of that. But all war on planet Earth is galactic in nature. You have to take it to the galactic perspective to actually understand it on any level. And the real war that's been ongoing has been the electrical wars of Orion. So we're here, that's the final resolve that we're here to do, is Orion electrical wars. And so these wars have to do with what we're seeing right now with AI technology, with the data centers, with planetary resources, with mind control, with implants, with targeting individuals, with that sort of thing. So we're here to build the body of light. We're here to go through the path of purification. And we are literally, the final war and the final battle is to extract these metal implants, to cast these demons out, so to speak, to purify the mind, body, and soul, to make sure that we're on, flowing in the same co-creational frequency of Operation Preserve Planet Earth and its people. No, it doesn't mean that there aren't many people here that are going to leave the planet. That is also part of the evolutionary. We are at this moment surrender to the highest timeline for the greatest good of all of humanity. And I highly recommend that become a part of your practice, that you surrender to the highest timeline for the greatest good of all of humanity. And that benefits yourself and all others. And that takes humility and a pure heart for all of us to come together. And that means we all have to do our work in order to bring this divine plan together. There can be no personal importance in this plan. I always say remain humble, pure, and true to allow the divine will to flow through. And so we're just in that time of the reckoning and the remembering and the awakening of who we are and where we come from. Some of us are starting to awaken or have remembered, planetary histories or histories from other star systems, and resonating with a particular race of being or things like that, like a particular race or star system. Like the galactic memory is starting to return. And just like in our human endeavors, we're not here to get too caught up in any one identity. I just like to say we're here to hold the body of light and to return the family council of light. And so one of the videos I like to share is called the Avatar of Synthesis. Richard Rudd does it. I've shared it on a few of my videos before, but he talks about the Maitreya family coming together, and it is basically like it's the 144,000 soul fractal family coming together in the form to serve this mission, to serve planet Earth. Yeah, it's the guardians of the galaxy. That's where we're at right now. And so each and every one of us is coming into our pieces and our parts. It's really time for us to synthesize. It's really time for us to come together and keep our hearts really open. And one of the tasks, and this is a Neptune code right now, is sacred seal. All the 7 sacred seals are a big part of this mystery. But right now where I'm seeing the Kings is the 2nd sacred seal, which has to do with the wound of denial. And it has to do with identifying the personal importance and the spiritual path and the identity path and the shamanic path and like all of the, I wish I had my 7 Sacred Seals book with me right now, but I don't. Eventually, that's one of the missions, is to start to have some gatherings about the 7 Sacred Seals. So, but anyways, I'm doing personal individual calls. It seems like we've got some people that we're going to be working with that are coming to visit from Australia. I've been called to go visit someone a few towns over, a few hours over, to work in the medicine field and the work in the galactic code field. We're just integrating, purifying, healing, expanding, serving, remembering together. And so the last part, oh, you found your glasses. Oh, good for you. So the last final piece, I think that we'll do for today, just for the sake of time. Sometimes I like to read the Gene Key. I might read the 29 on Friday on the next call that I do. But there was a river. Please don't do that. I'm finishing up this call. You want to come in front of the camera and do your wine so they can see it? You want them to see your whiny face? Here, show them. Show them your whiny face. Show them. Oh, there's a smiley face. Do you have anything to say? No? Okay, we're almost finished. Oh, you have markers.
Pink and
Brown.
brown. Pink and brown.
You have any songs or anything to say?
Ah,
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 ooh,
ooh.
la, 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 la. Ah, la, 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 la. Ah, ah, la, la.
So beautiful, River. Thank you. Ah, 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 ah.
Yay! Oh, puppy.
Ooh, so that's the 108, actually. So the 64 and the 44 equals 108. I'm saying that because of the bee and the peacock. The 44 is the synarchy, and the 64 is the illumination. So 64 and 44, 108. GM 108X, Galactic Maya Mind Transmission 108X. Okay, so I just have a couple other things and then I'm gonna let you all go. First of all, I wanted to talk about the galactic code of today because it's super important. I need to start talking about this in the beginning, but I just start to get rolling and then I just, it would be better if I got a little more and like covered some things at the beginning, but here we are. This is the Galactic Maya Zolkin. This is my time traveling computer. It's falling apart. I have a friend who's hopefully going to give me another one. Yeah, this is my galactic time traveling computer calculator. And so anyways, today we happen to be on kin number 251, self-existing monkey. Now, this is the 4th day of the star cycle, and it's actually the final 13-day cycle in this 260-day count. But the significance of kin number 251, resonant monkey, is that it is the same kin of 9/11, September 11th, 2001. So what we're doing is we're coming into that 911 code and we are rewriting the code. We're rewriting that script. That was basically one of the key markers in a hijack of the planet, a timeline hijack, which also has brought in the idea of this need for mass security and control and regulation of travel, borders, boundaries, passports. Yeah, the whole idea of like fake security surveillance, pretending like it's keeping you safe and protecting you, but it's really like spying on and trying to dominate and control you. Yeah, that's what that 911 hijack was all about. So we're here to rewrite the code and rewrite the script of this code of the 911 planetary emergency. That's another reason why we've come down to planet Earth, is to get things back on the right track, if that makes sense, because we're here to bring in a new age. So I could say a million things, but ultimately I'm going to read this one little paragraph that I have written, and then I'm going to have my boy Marcus play this mantra. I received it in the kitchen one day. That just kind of happens. Sometimes I'll just be receiving mantras or information or a song. And this one is about the Kalki avatar. And, well, it's about Kalki and it's about Babaji, which I don't think they are normally written together in text, but
Babaji.
Kalki, Babaji. So Babaji is known for materializing, dematerializing, the ability to bilocate, teleport, be able to come from one location to another location. I remember that we can do those things. I still haven't physically done it in this current timeline reality, but I've been holding out on that for quite some time. So anyways, Kalki and Babaji is the mantra that I brought in. But I noticed, and it was cool because I used to just do these lives, and this dude had been on one of my lives, and he was like, hey, I hope you don't mind, I just made this mantra for what you brought in on that live, and I've been reading a little bit of from Gene Key 29, which is the code that we're in right now. I'd rather you not, because it's not ours, so I don't want you to do that, but thank you. And so anyways, he made this cool little video, so I'm going to share it with you in a minute. But I also had just found it again, and I saw that somebody wrote in the comments, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, in Hindi, Kalki refers to the 10th and final incarnation of the Hindu god Vishnu. It is believed that Kalki will appear at the end of the Kali Yuga, the current age of decline, to restore righteousness and usher in a new era of truth and virtue. That's where we're at right now. That is absolutely what we're here to do, to restore righteousness and to usher in a new era of truth and virtue, the Satya Yuga. The name Kalki is often associated with the concept of time and eternity, and can also be interpreted as destroyer of filth, or destroyer of darkness, according to the Hindu text. So we're just gonna close it out with the Hindu, with the Kalki Babaji vibe. And yeah, we'll plan to see you all on Friday. Much love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your service on the planet. Things are getting wild over here. This is just how we roll in the family. So yeah, Marcus, if you're cool with dropping in the Kalki Babaji vid until the next episode, we'll see you all next time. Reach out to me if you're wanting to do any personal one-on-one work, or if you have any desire to come into Costa Rica. We do the one-on-one work with visitors, working in responsible medicine fields and galactic codes and cleaning and purifying on the mental, physical, body level. Calling you in, calling in the tribe, also calling in the team that's going to help me possibly equip myself to get back into the United States. That's been a consideration, returning back to the homeland. So considering and working on that process, how I can get me, Eduardo, and River back into the human reality of travel, beyond the time travel, but the physical travel. We've been time traveling, but not space traveling. Egypt. Well, this is Egypt. Italy,
California,
China. Yeah. We want to travel around the sacred sites. We want to bring our family with us. We want to unlock the stargates. We are the stargates, and end all galactic wars. That's ultimately what we're here to do. We have a lot of council meetings, including the Vatican, I believe. But yeah, everything in its right time. It is written. This is the prophecy. We are ascending. So much love and gratitude to all of you. Don't hesitate to reach out, and yeah, enjoy the Kalki Babaji. I shared it on my page as well. So it's a great mover of energy. If you're ever just going through stuff, just utilize mantra to see your way through and to change the energies and rewrite the scripts, rewrite the codes. See y'all.
Commitments directed to service towards others. Activating the heart center. Devotee of a higher cause. Kalki, Kalki, Babaji, Babaji, 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 Kalki, Kalki,
Babaji, Babaji, Kalki, Kalki. 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 Babaji, Babaji.
I'm recognizing people's resistance to accepting that they are creators of their reality.